It's kind of crazy. You don't hear of things like Walmart closing. Walmart.
A shocker tonight for suburban shoppers. Walmart announcing it's closing 3 stores.
The stores to be closed are spread across the area from north to south in Lincolnwood, Plainfield, and Homewood. The Homewood announcement is being met with criticism from customers and the mayor.
Elizabeth Matthews is live outside that Homewood Walmart. Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Shoppers are stunned to learn that their Walmart is set to close in just about a month. This one on South Halsted is normally open until 11 p.m. every single night. But now even their store hours are changing. Tonight's closing at 7. Save money, live better. Just not in Homewood, Plainfield, or Lincolnwood.
This is a big hit to the community because, Walmart have great prices, honestly. So I can't believe a Walmart is closed.
But it's happening. This location on South Halsted in Homewood will permanently close next month. The reason, Walmart says, because of poor performance record. It, quote, did not meet Walmart's financial expectations.
It's like they're trying to starve the black neighborhood or something. I don't know what's going on because it's always crowded. Every time you come up here, the lot is crowded until they close. So how are you not making money?
Homewood shoppers not buying Walmart's explanation. Is it always busy?
It's always busy. It's always busy here. Usually I'd be like, oh, let me hurry up and try to get in and get out.
It's always busy. It's always busy, but they never have nothing.
If you wasn't making money, you'd have been closed.
Homewood Village officials commenting on social media about the area's financial loss regarding the closure. Quote, the Walmart store has been one of Homewood's largest revenue-producing stores for years and services shoppers from various surrounding communities. The mayor says, quote, the village was surprised by this news and will work with the property owner to fill the space as soon as possible.
I think used to be like a big Kmart, Super Kmart was here, and they closed that down. So I don't know what we're supposed to do now.
So what will fill this big void here in Homewood? It's actually way too early to tell, of course, but one shopper we talked to says she's crossing her fingers that an Amazon store comes in. So of the 3 stores, there's a Lincolnwood store that's kind of a pickup delivery store. That's going to close reportedly February 17th. The other 2 stores here in Homewood and the one on Route 59 over in Plainfield, those are set to close by March 10th. What happens to all the employees? We are told that they will be eligible to transfer to other stores. In Homewood tonight, Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.
So we're about to get into this, but before I begin, I do want to apologize for the delay for this next video coming out. I was having some computer issues. So remember I said that I just started and I wasn't sure of the specs on my laptop that I needed to have a good, successful show. And the computer I had was pretty old and the specs were low. So it kept freezing, giving me a problem. So I had to get a new laptop, which if anybody knows me, I'm pretty cheap. And so I had to spend some money for this one. And though I wasn't happy, I'm glad that I have it so that way I can continue giving you my perspective on certain things. And so what we're going to talk about is the city of Chicago. And the city of Chicago is going through some problems, okay? Because they, I don't know, they just seem to not get it, okay? I got my degree in political science, so I'm not business savvy, but I am business aware. So what I mean by that is I do understand the fundamentals on how to run a business. Do I know all the jargons and everything when it comes to these business elites? No. However, I have common sense to know what works and what does not work. And what I do know what is not working is what this mayor, Brandon Johnson, is doing in the city of Chicago. High rent and high crime. Retail stores want to come in and they want to do business and employ people and make some money. And you can't make money when you're constantly allowing crime to happen. And so now these businesses have to adjust their budgets, which hurts them. So Walmart, which is a big company, and they have budget set aside for shrinkage. Okay. They do have budget set aside for shrinkage because it is expected that people will steal. And even though in Chicago, it's mostly the blacks that steal and everybody steals. However, the blacks are doing themselves a disservice because these Walmarts are mostly in their neighborhoods that's being shut down. So when there's high shrinkage and the company has to continue adjusting their budgets because they set these expectations that the shrinkage will be maybe this amount. So they budget to that. You know, they do what's called future forecasting. And they determine that out of looking at everything and knowing and checking their surroundings, they assume that this is how much the shrinkage will be. But every time that shrinkage going past their expectations and the numbers keep going high and high, and then the violent crime, it keeps happening, they have to now adjust their budgets. That means that's a loss to the company. And when there's a loss to the company, well, there's problems, in which you can see Walmart is leaving. Now, Target already did so because they couldn't handle it because the theft was just ridiculous. And Chicago, this Mayor Johnson, with a 7% approval rating, you know, he has to do something. He needs to work with the police department instead of scolding them as if they're some lynch mob or something. He needs to work with them because you do need police force in these high crime neighborhoods. It's a must, okay? Because for some reason, they're just running amok and nobody's doing nothing about it. I had one lady tell me we need to pray. No, lady, need to take action. We need to put a stop to this. This is ridiculous that young teens, gang members are just shooting and killing, robbing and stealing, and there's no accountability. So that's a problem. That is a problem. And so that was Walmart. But this is 2025, and I want to talk about McDonald's. Now, who would think that McDonald's would want to leave Chicago? McDonald's, the Golden Arches. You would think that they would want to stick around because, sorry about that, this doggone phone just continue doing what it wants to do. You would think that the Golden Arches would stay because it's a high traffic area, but it's also a high crime area. So why are they wanting to leave? Mostly because they say of profits, and it's not a profitable, those are not profitable areas, but it's the crime. It's that high crime area. And this is why Chicago wants to leave. And this is why the people in Chicago, especially black people who love to martyr criminals and bad behaviors, they love to martyr them. Sometimes you gotta let them go when it's bad behavior, unless they can prove that people had taken wrong judgment on them, or, you know, they can prove that, you know, this is not the case. Then I say fight back. But if you're blatantly showing bad behavior, then the people of Chicago have to answer. And I'm sorry, but the crime in Chicago, black people not doing anything about it. Everything is about racism and oppression and all this other stuff, which is ridiculous. You know, sooner or later it has to stop. So I'm going to put this video of McDonald's and the places that's being closed, because it is important for people to understand that business and people are not going to take all of this crap anymore. These blue cities are running this country down into the dirt. And if sensible people don't get a hold of this, we're just going to lose America. That's the bottom line. So check this video out of McDonald's and I'll get right back to you guys.
People who work in the Loop are often looking for a quick and affordable lunch. That includes us here at CBS.
Some of our colleagues noticed there used to be lots of McDonald's locations nearby. Check out all those golden arches. But one by one, you can see most have disappeared. So we sent our Lauren Victory to find out why.
These vacant storefronts sit just a block off Chicago's famous Michigan Avenue, a welcome greeting of graffiti. Are you getting tired of answering the question, how is the Loop doing?
No, not really, because every day there's something new and improved.
Like the restaurant where the Chicago Loop Alliance's Michael Edwards met us. More on Memento in a moment. First, an assessment of the Loop's health.
The first quarter of this year, 1 million people came down, $280 million in economic impact.
Downtown foot traffic on the weekends is even higher than before the pandemic. Consumers are coming, commercial tenants not as much. High rent doesn't help.
We tend to only bring in large retailers and national retailers, and many of them are downsizing.
One company that left a supersized hole downtown, McDonald's. There used to be one right here between Randolph and Washington. There's also nothing left of the Mickey D's on Adams. The Golden Arches on Clark, not there. No more Big Macs at this Loop location either. 4 McDonald's gone, within a 10-minute walk of each other. What is going on?
I think that would be a question for McDonald's.
Oh, we asked them, but got an appreciate you reaching out reply. Interestingly, McDonald's global headquarters is only about a mile from the Loop. Why are they hightailing it from their hometown? Again, no explanation from corporate. An outside source told us crime and tensions with the unhoused were a factor for at least one of the closures. The Illinois Restaurant Association had another theory.
I know that since 2020, restaurants have seen an increase of 35% labor costs, 35% purchasing costs, and almost 20% in fixed cost.
Now add to the recipe consumers cutting back on fast food. You've noticed the vacancy signs around, but they don't scare you.
Sometimes, for sure, you see, you come this way and you're like, I mean, maybe I'm the craziest.
And yet, Christopher Roldan is betting big on the Loop. Right next to the train, he just opened Memento. It's a fast casual taqueria on one side, sit-down restaurant on the other, with handmade decor, self-serve liquor, and mouth-watering Mexican food.
There's this unique thing about the area that you have tourists and locals.
A combo that's done well for the highly Instagrammable Amarino, a gelato franchise Roldan also owns around the corner. He's opening another Amarino in the Loop this summer.
From all of the 300 locations, 19 countries, this one in Chicago is the #1 in sales. You have proofs that this area works.
All the ingredients at least some investors need to dismiss doubts about these sad signs. Lauren Victory, CBS News, Chicago.
Meanwhile, McDonald's is pledging to hire 375,000 workers nationwide this summer, 14,000 of them here in Illinois. It's the company's biggest hiring initiative in 5 years.
So you can see there's some that's trying to take advantage of McDonald's leaving. And, more power to them. However, they're going to face those same issues when the rent keeps going up because these liberal mayors want to take the money, that added money from the taxes, and basically just give it away to people that's not working or doing anything. And then, the city has nothing to show for it. That causes a problem. So McDonald's, who at one time the CEO for McDonald's complained about this. Now, some years ago, the CEO of McDonald's said he, so much problems. He hears so much things when it comes to Chicago. And it has to do with the crime. And if you don't believe me that crime is not the problem, listen to this CEO, because he talks about it as when he was being a guest, being interviewed at a news station and so forth. He talks about it. He talks about the crime going on in Chicago, even though he said back then they were still going to stay. But as you can see, 2025, stores are shutting down. They're shutting it down because they cannot handle the high crime and the high rent. Listen to this. Let me find this video. Here we go.
The CEO of McDonald's making a stunning revelation to other corporate CEOs. Chicago crime is making it very hard to do business.
Everywhere I go, I'm confronted by the same question these days. What's going on in Chicago? There is a general sense out there that our city is in crisis. It's more difficult today for me to convince a promising McDonald's executive to relocate to Chicago from one of our other offices than it was just a few years ago.
CEO Chris Kempinski making those comments as he addressed the Economic Club of Chicago. He pointed to other Fortune 500 companies leaving the city. Kempinski and his family live in Chicago. He says despite the city's issues, though, McDonald's will keep its $2 billion a year company in the city. He also announced McDonald's is relocating its innovation hub from Romeoville to its West Loop headquarters to punctuate their desire to stay in Chicago. I'm going to have much more on these controversial comments tonight on Fox 32 News at 9. Corey?
So this is the truth, okay? And I'm just going to say it like it is. We're all adults here. Chicago's a shithole, okay? It's a fucking shithole. The people are running wild and loose. And when they do their crap, they blame it on racism. So, you know, go figure. It's just really sad. It's really sad how things are turning out there in Chicago. The mayor, these liberals, these progressive liberal mayors, especially, and it's sad for me to say, but especially when they're black or people of color, they tend to want to make all their decisions on emotions. And it's good to have emotions when you're a leader and you want to show empathy or so forth to your team or so forth. That's a good thing. But when you are running a city, tough decisions have to be made. I mean, if you're the president, you're going to hear so much crap from other people because they think the way they see things is the right way and your way is wrong. If you're the president and, you know, you have your advisors and you come up with this solution, sometimes you're going to piss people off. But that's where tough decisions come in. And that's the problem with these liberal lunatics that's running like the city states and it shows. The city of Chicago is in a huge deficit. Now, Brandon Johnson had made a promise that he was not going to increase property taxes. And then what does he do? Because he wants to fund illegal immigrants, which if he so care about blacks and all this other crap about, you know, racism and everything, then he would look at the 1965 Immigration and Naturalization Act, which Lyndon B. Johnson did, which I say started this whole pouring in of illegal immigrants. He would back away from that. He would then do the right thing, start hiring qualified people, not people just because of skin color, but qualified people that would give him the best, that would help him make the best decisions. Because he's not making good decisions at all, and why he's at 7%, and why the city hates its guts. And when election time comes, I guarantee you he's going to have a very bad turnout. He's going to have a very bad turnout. But you know what the problem's going to be? The problem's going to be that those same black people that's crying boo-hoo, Brandon Johnson, you're not looking out for us, they're going to put in the next crazy liberal who's going to do the same thing to them. So, you know, it's up to them. They need to learn, but, you know, I don't know what to say, but good luck, Chicago. Hey, guys, that was it for this video. I'm going to come out with another one. You guys have a great one, okay? Peace.